All right, we are live. Didn't think that we are going to do Georgia content this week, but we are. So I guess the first thing out of the way is the Christen Miller saga that was and was not. Um, I just my whole take on it is really simple. This is modern day college football, and you're just going to have to get used to it. And this is something that we're going to have to deal with probably every year around this time after spring. So it's just modern day. I don't know what made his decision where he decided not to go into the portal and decided to stay. I don't know. I honestly, in my opinion, and I know he's playing at Georgia and he's probably a great football player and a great kid, but I think it was for attention. So,
Well, I have no idea how to get inside its head, but here's what I do think at a macro level that we all have to start taking a look at and considering. And I texted this earlier to you. The way the transfer portal, NIL, all this stuff is shaping up is 100% the kids have the leverage, right?
right.
And so in that dynamic, you have 18, 19, 20-year-old kids making decisions because they have the leverage for whatever the other purpose is. They've got all the leverage. And so I think that's the way the system is set up right now. And I don't also I would think everybody in our society, because we don't raise our kids this way, I think all of us would agree 18, 19, 20-year-old kids make really poor decisions for themselves. And if they don't have a good group of parents, advisors, and mentors around them, they make really foolish choices. And it's also a gut instinct of going out on social media and doing something that is really immature only validates what I'm saying right now. Like, and so my point is, it is the world we live in. Georgia plays in it. All colleges that are going to be successful play in it. But we've got to start thinking about, as a society, what are we doing really? I mean, with giving these kids that much leverage and then expecting them to make good decisions. That's not going to happen.
Well, it's not going to change in the near future, at least for this year. It's not going to change because you got too many talented players and coaches. If there's coaches that are willing to do it, there's not going to be any change.
Well, you have, as a coach, wouldn't you agree? You have to be willing to do it.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think Kirby's on board with that. But you have coaches like Dion, and then you have coaches like Lane Kiffin, who are not in that camp. Now, Kiffin's kind of more toward the Kirby camp of things need to be restricted, things need to be figured out. But Dion doesn't. So,
Well,
and I have my opinions on Dion, but I'm sure there's other coaches that are in the Dion camp as well.
Well, I don't know. I don't get paid to make these decisions, but this is the kind of stuff we're going to be getting into. It's going to be the way. And then from a coach's perspective, which is something else, I mean, kind of tangentially related, is how many college coaches are going to want to continue to put up with this? Because it's impossible to manage a raw, almost impossible. And that's where I give Georgia a lot of credit, Kirby and staff.
Been able to
manage this thing as about it, and they're as strategic, surgical as you can possibly want to be, and they've learned how to use it, and that's seems to be, to me, to be the key to all this, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's Georgia's success for the national these past 4 years has been. Well, we'll see about the 4 years, but past 3 has been because they've been able to manage the roster well. So speaking of managing the roster well, we'll pivot a little bit. Jaden Rashda, is that his name?
Yeah.
Former Arizona State quarterback. I mean, once he hit the portal, I mean, there were rumors when he was he wasn't even in the portal yet, and a lot of people already expected him to go to Georgia, which I found a head scratcher, but you know it makes sense from this standpoint. We don't know after 2024 what the future holds. And here's another plus with this. Now, you might have your opinion on him. He played 4 games. He has experience playing big boy football. And if, God forbid, Carson Beck ever goes down, there you go. You have somebody that's played in big time, not big time games, but big boy football, and you know that he'll have the experience. And then also, you don't know what 2024. I mean, what happens with Gunner now. Ryan Puglisi, I think, is still going to stay. I think he's going to sit and wait, probably. I think he's not afraid of competition. I think he wanted to go to Georgia. So, and Kirby always said that he wanted 4 quarterbacks on the roster, scholarship quarterbacks. They have 4 now. So I think it's pretty good. I also like him because he stole millions of dollars. I mean, that's basically what he did. He stole millions of dollars from Florida NIL. And Florida is really upset and they're crying right now on social media. So I enjoy that just for that. Even if he doesn't play a snap, I appreciate him for just doing that for me. So give us your thoughts on it.
I don't know all that. I know he has a history with that NIL deal falling through, but I don't know where all that lands. But I do agree with you in this respect. Any day that Florida is probably upset and we got a spur in their saddle, that suits me just fine. But no, I think it makes a lot of sense for Georgia, which you're right. Kirby said all along he wanted at least 4 quarterbacks, and I think it raises the competition in the quarterback room, which is never a bad thing. You never know what's going on with a kid like I just talked about earlier. You're looking at 18, 19, sometimes 17-year-old kids making these decisions. And I don't know what happened with the Florida NIL deal, but here's what I can almost promise you. Before he decided to transfer to Georgia, Kirby we all know who the top dog is. Beckett, you're not competing this year.
Right.
And the guy played last year, had all that NIL money dangled in front of him, went to Arizona State, played 4 games, I think, give or take. And so it tells me maybe I'm hoping this is best case scenario, that he's understanding that, hey, maybe I need some development, because I think Kirby and Bobo would have been pretty straight with him, right? Like, you
for sure.
Here, you have a chance to compete for 2025, but you're not starting this year, Chief, right?
Yeah,
And so
really.
it take a step. He has to understand that about his career. Like, hey, I was a pretty sought after guy. I went to Arizona State. I don't know what happened there, but I'm taking a step back and I'm going to go and develop for a year. And I think Kirby and the program has as good a story as anybody in college football of saying, hey, exactly, let us develop you. I've watched the kid's film, and not that I'm a quarterback guru, but he is 100%. He can move in the pocket. Have you watched any of this film, by the way?
I watched when he played against USC, right? I'm pretty sure he did. Unless
I saw Southern Utah, and then I watched a couple other games at Arizona State, and then I watched his high school film. So
anyway, go ahead. I want to make sure they did play, but go ahead.
But anyway, so from what I can tell, he is definitely a pocket passer, has good mobility. He's not going to be a runner. I mean, he can run, has better mobility than Carson Beck does, is what I would say. But he's bombs away, man. He is. I didn't see a whole hell of a lot of touch passes, intermediate passes. What I did see, and again, highlight film, right? The very few I saw, he looked accurate. But when you look at Arizona State, he had true freshman, right?
Yeah.
So they had him step in right away. He was 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and he looks like that type of quarterback. Like he's going to let it rip.
Yeah.
And he believes he has a huge arm. Now, whether or not he can make the touch passes, I have no idea. But he was a 4. I think most people have him rated as a 4-star.
4 or 5-star guy out of
Yeah.
California.
So he can obviously ball, but we just got to
Right.
see where he's at. So
it was Oklahoma State. I don't know why I thought it was USC, but it was Oklahoma State when they played their home and home. So yeah, no, I'm with you. I think I think he's going to be developed, and I think probably taking a year to learn, get developed, could be something really special. So we'll see. Outside of that, I mean, there's really not any other news going around too exciting on Georgia's front. We are recording this the night of the first round of the draft. This might age like milk because it's 7:30, so we're draft probably starts around 8:15 after they get done talking and jerking off about it. The Rams are trying to move in the top 10. A lot of people think they're going to try to get Bowers. I got to tell you, Matthew Stafford or Brock Bowers, that would be something.
that would be old school Georgia versus new school. That'd be a hell of a thing. I would become an instant Rams fan. I really would.
For sure. And then they have Stetson. Stetson's back. So obviously not pulling for Stafford. Hurt, good God. I mean, it's a very big possibility that the Rams get Bowers. So we'll see
What's
that.
the over-under on the Falcons fucking this up?
I don't know if there's an over-under. I think the line is they fucked it up. They'll fuck this. They'll get a wide receiver or something. They'll get like Malik Neighbors or something. Who else? I think Amarius Mims is probably going to go, and I think that's probably the only Georgia. Maybe Bullard. Maybe.
What, in the first round?
Yeah.
I think that
Kamari Laster. Maybe.
I think McConkey maybe go in the back of the first round.
You want to talk about just a shock. That would be pretty big. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of Georgia fans probably would agree he's a first-round talent. That would be a huge shock.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
It's wide receiver deep. So, this draft is quarterback, which I disagree on the quality of quarterbacks.
I don't think any of these – I wouldn't pick any of these quarterbacks.
No, I totally do not disagree. They are not generational, not first-round worthy, but there's who you got. But it is quarterback, offensive line, and wide receiver heavy.
For sure.
So, yeah. And the good news for the Falcons, if they were fucking smart, they would say, well, we don't really need any of that. Our needs are on the defensive side of the ball because we suck at pressuring the passer. And so, therefore,
Dallas Turner would be probably the best pick.
I disagree with that. I think you go defensive back, dude.
Oh, defensive back?
You trade back and get another pick is what I think, and choose the first of the defensive backs. AJ Terrell's anyway.
This isn't a Falcons podcast. I don't know anybody on the Falcons. I don't even know who AJ Terrell is. This could be a Steelers podcast. And look, if the Steelers are picking, and Amarius Mims is on the board, they have to get Amarius Mims. And hey, also secret for you. Cedric Van Pran is going to probably be on the board in the second or third round, and the Steelers need a center. Probably should go and get Cedric Van Pran too.
By the way, he's not the first center in the draft. Is that right?
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
I heard that today. I couldn't believe it. But anyway,
don't look. Steelers are going to get Amarius Mims. They're also going to get Cedric Van Pran. And the Georgia train to Steelers to Georgia, it'll be beautiful, and everyone will be happy. I will be happy. It's going to happen.
Maybe it happens.
So there you go. Brock Bowers to the Rams, Amarius Mims to the Steelers. Any prediction that you want to make?
The only prediction I feel really good about is they talking about it on the draft.
Yeah.
The Falcons will fuck this up.
Okay. The Falcons will fuck it up. Caleb Williams will go first. I think the Falcons are going to get Jaden Daniels. That's who I think they're going to get.
Really?
Yeah.
I think if smart money tells me they move back and get a player that can help them on defense and still get another pick in next year's draft.
Maybe.
Second, third round.
Maybe. We'll see. All right. Outside of that, I think we're good. So we'll see you on the other side. Hopefully there's not any terrible breaking news for Georgia. Check out Terminus Sports ATL. Just you can literally Google that; it'll pop up. Haven't written in a day. Need to get back to it. I'll probably write one tonight. And for your ship, before we get to the Unishippers, Twitter, follow us. I know our Twitter following has gone up, so appreciate it. Terminus Sports _ATL. If you want to listen to me bitch about the Braves in April, like I did last night, you're so welcome. You can follow us there. Remember to like and subscribe and comment. And for your shipping needs in the Atlanta, well, I guess worldwide, but that are based in the Atlanta area, who do you, Unishippers Atlanta, and who do you ask for?
You can ask for Marcus.
Ask for Marcus Gore. All right. We'll see you on the other side.